Yeah, you can tell I'm very frustrated with my team right now. So, what's going on, everyone? If you're new here, yeah, it's Nick, and I'm a very frustrated Yankees fan right now. And yeah, if you want to leave a like, yeah, go ahead. If you want to subscribe, yeah, that would mean a lot. And also hit that notification bell for when I upload in the future. But yeah, I mean, you can like the video if you agree with my thoughts, but honestly, you can tell I'm not in a good mood right now about this team. So, alright, yeah, I'm not even going to do an intro this time. That's just how I do it. When I'm mad, I don't do intros. So, alright. The Yankees have the worst record in the American League right now. This hasn't happened since April of 1998. Now, we all know the Yankees had a historic year that year, so of course. The season's not over. The season ends in October, not April. So, yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, the level of panic is still not even close to a 10. However, there are already so many red flags with this team so early in the season. And this latest atrocity of a game is what made me want to make this video. Let's start with Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone, in the first year, yeah, we had to deal with some growing pains. But then 2019, you were starting to win me over with the next man up mentality and savages in the box. But then, since the ALCS that year, you've really gotten me annoyed. I really miss Joe Girardi. But you know what though, I'm not gonna fully blame Aaron Boone. I blame this on the front office too, because I get it that he's their puppet and I'm not okay with that. And I can't imagine any Yankees fan being okay with the fact that Aaron Boone has been a front office puppet this whole time. You know, Joe Girardi, he was a guy that actually held guys accountable. Aaron Boone, he's looking more like he's being their friend more than he is a manager. And I'm not saying that Aaron Boone should be a second coming of Billy Martin. No, that would be toxic. But some tough love is needed. And I don't know exactly what's going on in the dugout. I don't know everything because I'm not in there. But whenever the camera's on Aaron Boone, it seems like he's just being a statue. And with Joe Girardi, the second half of his tenure with the Yankees, that should really speak volumes of how great of a manager he was. Those teams from 2013 to 16 should not have been 500 teams. They had no business of competing for the playoffs whatsoever. Yet they didn't win less than 84 games. 2017 with a young team. That team was supposed to finish in 4th place. And they were 1 game away from the World Series. And they had to play against cheaters. And the way that they did him dirty, that made me mad as soon as it happened. But I wasn't so worried because the team is just so talented. But you know what? I feel like now, while I already was very pissed off back then, I should have been even more pissed off because they decided to bring in a puppet and a guy who doesn't seem to be able to hold guys accountable and show some tough love. Although I did hear that he recently held a meeting to address the team. I don't know what was said in the meeting because I wasn't there, and I understand what happened in the clubhouse stays in the clubhouse. So we're probably not gonna find out, but hopefully this meeting does pay off because from what I'm seeing right now, these guys look unmotivated, and that starts with the manager. And Brian Cashman, you're great at assembling the team. You've found plenty of diamonds in the rough. Didi Gregorius, Gio Urshela, Luke Voigt, and Aaron Hicks was another diamond in the rough, but he hasn't been that at all this year. He's been terrible. We'll get into that later. But you're the GM. You let the manager do their job, but even if you were to let them do their job, I still don't know if Aaron Boone really can do the job. At least not nearly as well as Joe Girardi was able to do it. And even with all the talent that he had in 09, he must have done something right to win the World Series. Because talent alone does not win World Series. But you know what? I will give Aaron Boone this. He's not the worst manager I've ever seen. That would be Mickey Callaway. At least the Yankees haven't batted out of order, something the Mets actually did when Mickey Callaway was there. And plenty more that let it be known that Mickey Callaway is a horrible manager, perhaps the worst one ever. At least I'm not going to put Aaron Boone in that category, but I'm definitely not liking him, I'll tell you that. And you know what else has really bothered me? Clint Frazier had 1 bad game and he gets benched. It took a lot longer for Jay Bruce to finally get benched. And yeah, Clint Frazier has struggled as of late, but still, how are you more patient with Jay Bruce than Clint Frazier? And in my predictions video, when I said at least Chris Carter's not playing first base for the Yankees while Luke Voigt is out, what was I talking about? No. Jay Bruce has looked like Chris Carter in disguise. And yeah, I hope that he gets cut from the team within the next few days. I'd welcome back Mike Ford with open arms if it means that Jay Bruce is out the door. Or how about Derek Dietrich, man? I mean, it's not going to get any worse than what Jay Bruce is doing right now. I really can't wait till Luke Voit is back. Even though he has his problems defensively too, at least he can mash. Jay Bruce is not getting the job done at the plate, nor is he getting the job done at first base. And Aaron Boone was saying that lefty-righty matchups don't matter. Yet you were more patient with Jay Bruce than Clint Frazier, and you pinch hit Mike Ford in a do-or-die playoff game. You don't see anything fishy about that? You can feel free to let me know what you think of lefty-righty matchups, but I've noticed that the last several World Series winners do have balance in their lineups. But to argue that they really don't matter, well, I'd rather have Luke Voit than Greg Bird, or Jay Bruce, or Mike Ford. And okay, Brett Gardner has actually done well at the plate so far this season. Clint Frazier, his numbers are bad. But long term, yeah, I do trust Clint Frazier more. But then they also brought in Rougned Odor, and bruh, he sucks. He can't hit and he can't field. I don't understand how this dude is still in the big leagues at this point in his career. He's a bum. And again, Brian Cashman, he's been great at finding diamonds in the rough before, but I don't know what he saw in Rougned Odor that made him want him, besides the fact that he hits left-handed, or more like he's a left-handed whiffer. He's really not an upgrade at all from Tyler Wade. In fact, he's a downgrade. At least Tyler Wade can play defense, and at least he's fast as hell. And while the Yankees for the whole season haven't struck out a whole lot, in this game they made Michael Wacha look like he was even better than the 2013 version of himself. He's not that kind of pitcher. In fact, he looked like a reincarnation of Cy Young in this game. Like, there is no excuse to do that horrible at the plate. I understand it's one game, I know the season's still young, but come on, we expect better out of you guys with that much talent. The only problem that the Yankees have had this season that didn't show up in this game was stupidity on the bases, and the only reason for that is the fact that the Yankees weren't even getting anyone on base in the first place. Also, why is Davey Garcia still in the minors? The Yankees need length from their starters, and yeah, he doesn't have great numbers from last year, but at least he usually did go deep into the game when he did pitch last season. You send down Domingo Germán, why not bring up Davey Garcia? Like, am I missing something? But okay, that's about 9 minutes, at least for a recording time. I'm not sure how much is going to get cut out while I'm editing, but alright, there are some bright spots though. This isn't all going to be negative. Garrett Cole has been on fire, and the bullpen for the most part has been great. But because the starters, not named Garrett Cole, have such a hard time going deep into the game, I'm afraid that this bullpen is going to be shot by June. And don't expect Luis Severino to eat up innings when he comes back. He's coming off Tommy John surgery, so he'll obviously be on a pitch limit for a while when he comes back. And I understand Corey Kluber and Jameson Taillon are working their way back from injuries, and Kluber getting off to a slow start is not a new thing, but we can only wait so long for these guys. You guys need to eat up innings now so that the bullpen doesn't get shot way too early. And hey, Jordan Montgomery, in the 2 games he's pitched pretty well. I do hope that this is his breakout year. We'll have to see. ERA and WHIP are really good as of now. Baseball Savant, some good and some bad, but we know he's not going to be an ace. He's on the hill today. He better go at least 6 innings. And at least for now, the bullpen has been mostly great. Aroldis Chapman, Darren O'Day, and Justin Wilson have yet to give up a run. Obviously, that's not going to last all year, but for now, that's how it is, and that's something that I do like to see. And Chad Green has only given up 1 run so far this year. But also, with this latest atrocity of a game, I don't blame fans for throwing things. I mean, say what you want about it, but me personally, I don't blame them, because that was a disgrace. And also, with this game, I don't think pitching was that huge of a problem. Like, okay, Nick Nelson, yeah, he had a rough first inning, but other than that, the defense was more to blame than the pitching itself. 3 errors in 1 game? Come on! The defense looked like a little league team out there. And also about the bullpen, especially when we consider that Zach Britton's out for the first 3 months, yeah, that makes the bullpen even more impressive for what they've done. But with the starters unable to go deep into the games, other than Garrett Cole, and to some extent Jordan Montgomery, he went 6 innings his first start, 5 the second start. Yes, I'm concerned about how the bullpen's going to look later on. But I'm going to talk about the offense, and yeah, I have some good to say and some bad to say. Gary Sanchez has actually done really well at the plate so far this season. And yes, he's had some mental lapses on the bases. He did strike out twice last night, but he also hit a hard line drive to Joey Wendell. And that line drive that he hit that hard. I'm not going to be mad at him for that. And Aaron Judge has been phenomenal at the plate this season. He went 0 for 4 last night though, but hey, it happens to everyone, and it's not like he was supposed to hit 300 all season anyways, right? Definitely not. We know that Aaron Judge is not that kind of player. But hey, if he gets hurt in the next game, what a surprise, right? And by the way, I love Aaron Judge. Yeah, if anyone wants to call me a hater, yeah. You look like a fool if you call me a hater after I just showed you that. And DJ LeMahieu, as expected, he's been awesome. And although he went 0 for 4 last night, at least he was putting the ball in play. And he did get robbed of a hit when Randy Arozarena made a great play in right field. I definitely cannot be mad at him for that. Kyle Higashioka, in a small sample size, yes, he's hitting out of this world, but obviously those are not sustainable numbers. But then Gio Urshela, Gleyber Torres, Aaron Hicks, Giancarlo Stanton, these guys aren't hitting at all. Other than Stanton with that home run when it was too little too late. We need these guys to get going right now. And Gleyber's not only been horrible at the plate, he's been horrible in the field too. But also, before anyone says that Didi needs to be brought back, well, he hasn't been good defensively at all since he had Tommy John surgery. And I love Didi, by the way. He's my guy. Ask anybody who knows me. But let's keep it real. He wouldn't be the answer at shortstop right now either. I mean, yeah, he might be that lefty bat, and he's hitting pretty well this year, but defensively, no, he would not be the answer at all. However, you gotta love his charisma, right? But you know what else? The Yankees won 5 World Series with Derek Jeter at shortstop, and we all know he had no range. But he also was really clutch at the plate and sometimes made great defensive plays like the flip and the dive. But Gleyber Torres, yeah, he's got to get it together right now because he has looked absolutely abysmal, and we know the kid has talent. Well, I don't know if we really consider him a kid anymore, but whatever. We know he has talent. But what he's done since last season, yeah, it's not good. And we expect better out of him when he was the top prospect when he was in the minors and looked really good in his first 2 seasons. Aaron Hicks, yeah, like I said earlier, he was a diamond in the rough when he broke out in 2017. And before 2017, I still really like what he brought defensively, just not at the plate yet. But yeah. The past few years, his batting average would tell you he's not that good, but the dude was great at working the count, gets on base, has some pop, but he's not even doing that anymore this year. And he was once a great defensive center fielder, but he has no range anymore. Perhaps that's what multiple leg injuries will do to you. But at least his contract isn't so massive. He has 4 years left on it, and he's getting paid $10 million a year, so that's not out of this world. So if he doesn't get any better from here, yeah, it's time to move on from him, but unfortunately, the value for him is not going to be very high if he continues at this rate. And if the team just doesn't get it together, and if they don't get over the hump, then yeah, it's looking like some tough decisions will need to be made. I'm not going to take back my prediction of the Yankees making the World Series yet, because it's still early, but just right now, there are so many red flags, and I just had to vent about it because I'm frustrated, and I know I speak for a lot of other Yankee fans. But hey, like I said before, season ends in October, not in April, but just so many red flags so early in the season, and this team just really needs to wake up and get it together because right now what's going on is not acceptable. Alright, I'm done ranting here. You can like the video if you agree with my thoughts. Feel free to subscribe, because I cover basketball, baseball, and football in here. Hit that notification bell for when I upload in the future. Bye.